Hello everyone, and in this video I will walk you through Kubernetes Storage. So introduction to volumes. Definition of volumes. Volumes are a way to persist data in Kubernetes and provide storage to containers within a pod. Benefits of using volumes. Benefits include sharing data between containers, retaining data after container restarts, and abstracting storage details. Types of volumes include empty dir, host path, and persistent volume claim, among others. So pod gets attached to a volume, and this volume can be empty dir, host path, or persistent volume claim. Understanding persistent volumes. Definition of persistent volume, also known as PVs. PVs are durable storage resources independent of the pod lifecycle that can be consumed by Kubernetes applications. Persistent volume claims, also known as PVCs, are requests for persistent volume resources specifying storage requirements, access modes, and other details. Lifecycle of PVs and PVCs. So lifecycle looks something like this. A user creates a PVC. The system binds a PV to the PVC. The user creates a pod using the PVC, and when done, the PVC is released and the PV can be reclaimed. So you have persistent volume, which gets bound to a persistent volume claim, and persistent volume claim gets mounted onto a pod. An overview of projected volumes. So definition of projected volumes. Projected volumes allow the composition of multiple volume sources into a single shared directory within a pod. And benefits of using projected volumes. So benefits include specifying the pod configuration, reducing the number of mount points, and centralizing configuration. Supported resources include config map, secrets, downward API, and service account token. So pod uses projected volume for projected volume sources, which are config map, secret, downward API, and service account token. Exploring ephemeral volumes. So definition of ephemeral volumes. Ephemeral volumes are temporary storage resources that have a life cycle tied to the pod they are attached to. Use cases for ephemeral volumes. Use cases include caching, temporary data processing, or storing sensitive information that should not persist. Limitations of ephemeral volumes. Limitations include non-persistent data, storage, and potential data loss upon pod termination. So pod gets connected to ephemeral volume, but they are only for the life cycle of a pod. So if you restart the pod or terminate the pod, all the data that could be caching or some any other kind of data will get lost. Storage classes in Kubernetes. So definition of storage class. Storage classes provide a way to describe the different types of storage offered by a cluster. Provisioner types. Provisioner types include in-tree, external, or no provisioner. Customizing storage classes. Customization options include setting the reclaim policy, binding mode, and parameters specific to provisioner. So we have storage classes, and we have in-tree provisioner, external provisioner, and no provisioner. And in-tree provisioners comes with access mode, read write once, read only many, and reclaim policy are retain and delete. So we have access modes and reclaim policy. For external provisioner, access mode are read write once and read only many, same as in-tree provisioner. And reclaim policy again same, retain and delete. And no provisioner also same, read write once, read only many, and reclaim policy, retain and delete. So dynamic volume provisioning in Kubernetes. So definition of dynamic volume provisioning. This allows storage volumes to be created on demand. So this is for storage classes which gets created on demand, eliminating the need for manual PV creation. Storage classes role in provisioning. Storage classes define the provisioner and parameters used when dynamically provisioning a new volume. Process of dynamic provisioning. So the process looks something like this. User creates a PVC referencing a storage class. The system creates a PV, persistent volume, using the storage class provisioner, and the user creates a pod that uses the persistent volume claim. So you have you will create a PVC which will reference a specific storage class, which is used by, and storage class used by auto create persistent volume, and this persistent volume gets bound to a persistent volume claim, and pod, when you create a pod, that will automatically use the persistent volume claim. So here between PV and PVC you have storage class, and this storage class gets bound it gets referenced by PVC. So basically you create a persistent volume claim, and that will have a reference to storage class, and that gets automatically create depending on the availability and the cluster specification. Kubernetes volume snapshots. So definition of volume snapshots. Okay, so volume snapshots are point in time copies of persistent volumes data, and use cases for volume snapshots includes backup and disaster recovery, cloning volumes and migrating data. Creating and restoring volume snapshots. Creating a volume snapshot requires a volume snapshot resource, and restoring data involves creating a new persistent volume PVC, creating a new persistent volume claim from the volume snapshot. So you have persistent volume, you snapshot taken, and then what you will get back is volume snapshot. And when you create a persistent volume claim, this gets attached again. If you want, the snapshot can be attached again. So basically it will help in backup recovery, or you move some volume from one zone to the another, basically migrating from one node to the other. Configuring volume snapshot classes. So volume snapshot classes define the provisioner and parameters used for creating volume snapshots. Provisioner types include in-tree, external, or no provisioner, same as before. And customizing volume snapshot classes. So customization options include specifying parameters specific to the provisioner and setting their deletion policy. So you have volume snapshot classes, and you have got in-tree provisioner, and you basically just pass in the parameters to tailor it or create it at the runtime as per the requirement. And same for the external provisioner, you just pass in the parameters. Next we will see container storage interface, CSI volume cloning. So CSI volume cloning definition. So CSI volume cloning is a feature that allows creating a new persistent volume claim that is an exact copy of an existing persistent volume claim using the container storage interface. Cloning process involves specifying the source PVC in the data source field of the new persistent volume claim. Use cases for CSI volume cloning. So use cases include creating multiple pods with identical data, debugging stateful applications, and data replication. So you have source PVC, which gets cloned into a clone PVC, and you can create a pod that can use a clone PVC that will have identical data from the source PVC. Monitoring storage capacity in Kubernetes. Importance of monitoring storage capacity. So monitoring storage capacity helps prevent unexpected outages due to insufficient storage and aids in capacity planning. Storage capacity tracking. Storage capacity tracking is available for CSI drivers that support the feature, providing information on available and used capacity. Handling capacity constraints. Handling constraints involves setting resource quotas, configuring alerts, and scaling storage resources as needed. So you can have some kind of dashboard for storage capacity utilization across storage classes. So you may have let's say you have 4 classes, and you can basically monitor the total 100% of storage capacity. You can have some kind of a monitoring So understanding node specific volume limits. So definition of node specific volume limits. Node specific volume limits are the maximum number of volumes that can be attached to a node depending on the storage driver and node capabilities. Factors affecting node volume limits. Factors include the storage driver, node hardware and operating system limitations. Managing volume limits. Managing volume limits involves monitoring utilization, configuring alerts and making infrastructure adjustment as needed. So you have node 1 and it has got volume limit. So for example, if it is max is 10 and node 1 has 1 pod and attached volume probably let's say 5, so you still have 5 left. So this is just illustration. So another node can have 10 volumes max limit and pod 2 can have some number, and same for node 3 you have max. This is called volume limits and they are like a node specific, and this node can have pod 1, pod 3, multiple number of pod, but all together the sum of all pod, for example 10, 10, so if it reaches 20 it will not, 10, 5, 5 like this. So it cannot cross the max volume for the node. The volume limit is the max ceiling. Volume health monitoring in Kubernetes. So importance of monitoring volume health. Monitoring volume health helps detect potential issues early, preventing data loss and ensuring application stability. Volume health monitoring capabilities. These capabilities include checking for abnormal events, monitoring input-output errors, and verifying file system integrity. Responding to volume health issues may involve creating volume snapshots, repairing volumes, or migrating data to a healthy volumes. So you have dashboard and you can have volume wherein you can check the health status. It can whether it's healthy, warning, or error state. Windows storage in Kubernetes. Support for Windows nodes in Kubernetes. Kubernetes supports Windows nodes, allowing the development of Windows applications and the use of Windows specific storage resources. Windows compatible volume types. Windows compatible volume types include Azure Disk, Azure File, CSI, and more. And best practices for Windows storage include using compatible volume types, following Windows file system requirements, and configuring Windows specific storage options. So you have Windows node, and if this pod attached volume is Windows type, then it gets attached, otherwise it wouldn't. And then you have Linux node, but they are not Windows type pod. So basically the operating system or the pod or a container, I can say, is not of Windows type. And that's all. Thanks for watching. Bye.